All right, back with another top 10 list. This time we are doing the top 10 cornerbacks in the NFL. Definitely one where it's, going to be a lot of disagreements with this one. I think you ask 10 different people to tell, who their favorite corner in the NFL is. You're going to get 10 different answers. But this is my list, so hopefully you enjoy. Let's just get into it. Number 10, I'm going Jamel Dean here, Tampa Bay Buccaneers corner, who's, it's interesting. He's been so consistent for Tampa Bay. He's really not had a bad year. The only real knocks people would throw on him are like sometimes he gets beat, with double moves, but who doesn't? I guess the top 9 guys not as much, which is why he's at 10. But other than that, has the elite speed that you love to see from a corner, and just a very consistent player. I guess the only other knock you'd throw on him is, Tampa Bay did kind of, sometimes we'll use Carlton Davis as the number 1 corner. He's probably listed in the depth chart as the number 1 corner, although Dean definitely gets his fair share of going up against number 1 receivers. But, as a whole, I think he belongs on the list. And again, Tampa Bay ask a lot of him, and he delivers, so he's number 10. Number 9, I'm going Marshon Lattimore here, a guy who definitely, it is. We know what it is of Lattimore. When he's on, he looks like the best corner in football. He's just not always on. He has the ups, he has the downs. But yeah, when he's on, he looks incredible. So his upside is why I have him at 9. Number 8 is J.C. Horn, who we still haven't seen a ton from, unfortunately. With the injuries and everything, but he's been great when he's been out there. The only reason that he's a little bit lower is due to just playing time. If he puts together a couple seasons of this kind of consistency and playing this well, he's going to shoot up the rankings. But for now, coverage is so fluky. I do have to if I've only seen it for a small sample size, I have to be a little bit more cautious with you. But yeah, I have him here at number 8. Interestingly, 3 NFC South corners gone right away, and actually AJ Terrell was number 11, so one for each of the NFC South teams representing the bottom of this list. Now let's get to the middle of the list. Number 7, I'm going Jaire Alexander, who did not have was injured, and then last year came back, and I didn't think he had his best year, but I thought it was still good. Like, he was not the issue with that Packers defense whatsoever. I thought he still had some, good stuff. His passer rating allowed last year was 66.2. So, I think given that situation is actually outstanding, and you can make the argument he should be higher on the list, and he's still young as well, still just 26 years old. So Jaire Alexander, definitely someone who I could see getting higher on this list. I think, if I had to bet on him being higher or lower on this list next year, I'd probably bet on him being higher. I don't really have any negatives to say other than I think a couple people surpassed him last year, which is why 7 is where he's at, even though it feels low. It does feel low, but I like the other guys I have ahead of him. Number 6, the always controversial Trevon Diggs, not for anything he does off the field, just for the his placement of, listen, 2 years ago, he had all those interceptions, and it was he's given up, gave up 1,000 yards, led the league in yards given up, also led the league in interceptions. This year, did not quite get the interception stats, which we knew weren't going to happen, right? Because that's just a fluky thing that happens. So much of it is luck. You got to take advantage of your breaks, which he did. He deserves credit for that. But we knew you're not going to get that kind of interception totals every year. But he massively improved on just being a straight up cover corner. And last year I did not have him on this list and didn't even really think about it. This year he belongs on this list. I have him here at 6. I thought he took a massive step forward. And every year in the league, he's continued to improve. So he's another guy who I could see moving up on this list, in a couple years or maybe even next year. Number 5, Patrick Surtain, who was good as a rookie. He showed flashes as a rookie, but wasn't like a good player necessarily as a rookie, I didn't think. I thought he showed flashes. Last year he was great. Last year he was amazing. And he's, if he, again, kind of one of those things where if you have like 3 years under your belt of how he was last year, he's in the number 1 conversation because he was that good. He was debatably the best. He wasn't debatably the best corner in football. There was a guy who was still, I think, pretty clearly ahead of him, but he was debatably the second best corner in football. I think that's definitely fair to say. Smaller sample size, it's gonna hurt him a little bit, but I still have him here at 5. Number 4, give me Darius Slay of the Philadelphia Eagles. His teammate Bradbury did not make the list, another honorable mention, but he was incredible. Darius Slay was incredible. And this is, it's kind of crazy that the Lions got rid of Darius Slay for a 3rd-round pick. Man, would they like to have Darius Slay back right now. Man, that's a trade that they're looking at and saying, you know what? I get why we did it when we did it. He was coming off a bad year. Maybe he just had a bad year because of Matt Patricia in hindsight. That's probably what happened because he has been amazing for Philadelphia, and in a position where no one is ever consistent. The fact that he's been consistent for pretty much every non-Matt Patricia year, for the most part, is incredible. So yeah, the fact that he's only 4 feels like an insult, but I have him here at 4 just because there's so many good corners. Number 3, I feel like people forgot about Gilmore. I really do. I feel like Gilmore, he was still great last year for the Colts. Again, he's getting up there in age, so how good is he going to be for the Cowboys? But the Cowboys have 2 players right now I have in the top 6. That could be incredible. I mean, we could be talking about, an all-time defense, potentially, if things can really hit for Dallas. Who knows if they will, but that's really exciting if you're a Cowboys fan. To me, the only concern about Gilmore is his age, but again, has been great in several different schemes now. He's someone who I would bank on. Like, even when he had that brief stint in Carolina, he was really good there too. Like, he barely played, but he was really good in that stretch as well. So I'm not betting against that guy. I have him at 3. Number 2, give me Sauce Gardner. Love Sauce Gardner. And some people might be sitting here and saying, wait a second. You keep talking about small sample size this, small sample size that. How can you sit here and put Sauce Gardner number 2 on the list? Well, the reason he's not number 1 is because of sample size, because he was, to me, clearly the best corner in football last year. I think he was, honestly, probably should have been a defensive player of the year candidate last year. Again, usually rookies don't, you have to be especially good to get into that conversation, but I thought he was especially good. I thought that he should have been in the conversation. I think that what he did was incredible, and if he does it again next year, the only thing that scares me a little is corner is fluky. Coverage is fluky. Typically, guys, even my number 1 guy has had down years. Everyone on this list has had ups and downs, unless you're someone who's just barely played. So the question is this his average year, or is this his great year, or is this his bad year, and is he going to get even better? I don't know. But when you're getting compared to Darrelle Revis already after 1 year, I'm going to put you at least at number 2 on the list. But number 1, I'm still going Jalen Ramsey, who got traded for like a 3rd-round pick. What is the NFL doing? I don't get this. I don't get why that happened. Maybe I'm stupid. I don't know. But I think Ramsey's amazing. I think that he's the best corner in football. Again, the sample size thing, he's been good for a very long time. He should be a great fit in the Vic Fangio scheme now in Miami, has been good in several different schemes, and I think the only, his down years were also when he was trying to get traded by the Jaguars, so maybe that was just another factor onto it. I don't know, but again, he got beat by Jamar Chase in the Super Bowl. Who hasn't gotten beat by Jamar Chase? I didn't think he had the best Super Bowl, but other than that, Rams, it was crazy because he got beat by Mike Evans in the divisional round and then Jamar Chase, and everyone said, wow, Ramsey keeps getting burned. That was like the 2nd and 3rd time he got burned all year like that. It was just that 2 of them were in the playoffs against, Tom Brady to Mike Evans and then, Joe Burrow to Jamar Chase. Okay, I'll live with that because he was pretty much perfect from there on out. So, yeah. Jalen Ramsey, he's my number 1 corner. I've been a big fan of Jalen Ramsey's game for a while, and I will continue to do that. But if Sauce Gardner plays how he did last year, this next year, he's number 1 with a bullet. But that's what I think. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. Always love hearing from you. And of course, as always, thanks for watching.